everybody. Welcome to this week's version of BASSTalk with Freekbass. How you doing? This is Freekbass. Hope you all have an amazing week. I'm here live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching over at the Facebook page, that's Facebook Music/Freekbass. Hello to you. And if you're over at the YouTube channel, that's youtube.com, the Freekbass channel. Hello to you. And if you're over at the mighty Twitter, hello to you too as well. So, we talk all things bass here each week, whether it be unboxing of new crazy basses or music equipment or gear reviews or music theory or anything that you can wrap your brain around, as long as it kind of relates to the bass in one way or the other. And, for all you bass players here, grab your bass, sit down, let's talk a little bit. And if you're just a music fan, we have a lot of people that not even bass players, they just enjoy kind of seeing how everything, works here in this crazy factory that we're in. Hello to you too. And I thank each and every one of you for coming back each week and hanging out with me. And if you're watching on the rebroadcast, hello to you as well. If you're watching over at YouTube too, please hit the subscribe button. That really helps, and a thumbs up. That really helps out a lot. And if you're watching over at Facebook, please hit the share button. That really means a lot. And if you're watching over at the mighty Twitter, I think what do they call that? A retweet? I think that's what it's called. So hit the retweet button too and try to share with some folks. I'd appreciate that. So what we're here to talk about tonight. I always start off with the show kind of as a little playing example of what we're going to talk about each week. And I'm sure if you're a bass player and you follow any, hashtags of bass, bass player, bass guitar, whatever, social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you watch, TikTok, wherever you watch videos, you're going to, you start seeing more and more bass videos, like a lot of amazing players out there. There's so many great bass players in the world right now. It's so incredible, both men and women, which is young and old. It's great to see that this instrument is really kind of almost like taking a new life in the last few years, in my opinion. But the one thing that I have noticed with a lot of the videos is sometimes there'll be players and they're like playing a lot of notes and doing a lot of great stuff, which is awesome. Cool, doing some really intricate lines, like transcribing like sax solos and putting them to basses, and that's so incredible to see. But one thing that's super important, and one thing that really got me into like the bass, is it's not just when you're playing the note, it's the space between the note. We always have to remember that space is as much part of the music as when you're actually playing something on your fingerboard. And so the more you can kind of play with that space, that becomes part of your groove. And you have to feel, in my opinion, you have to feel the space as much as you do the notes. And if you've been around here any time at all, you know that one of my favorite bass lines, if not my favorite bass line, is "Papa Was a Rolling Stone" by the Temptations. And it's 3 notes. And that's a lot. You want to talk about some space? That's a lot of space. So that song, I think the album version of that song is 9-10 minutes long. Bass player does not change the whole entire song. It's not like he starts putting, there's a lot of space. You could put a lot of fills in there. It'd be real easy to put a fill every few bars and that with all that space in there. But no, it stays right there. Right there too, all the way for the whole song. And not once, I know not me, I almost guarantee anybody listen to the song, nobody goes, wow, that's a great song, but man, that bass line, it's kind of boring. It does the same thing over and over again. No, I don't think that's the vibe when you hear that song. So what we're here to talk about tonight is really having a feel for the space and really connecting with the space. And you heard the bass line when I played when I first started tonight, and let's do it one more time right now. Here we go. Look at all that space. Go eat some lunch for a second. I mean, I could put tons of fills in here, you know, very easily, but that's not what this is about. So that is what we're here to talk about, and that's what I would say for you to try to experiment with. Like, just put on a, like, say, you know, here, let me just like a beat, and let's see, I think this is just the beat. Yeah, we just got a little groove here. You know, and it doesn't have to be like a full groove like beat that I put together. It could just be like a 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, that kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And when I was trying to come up with this bass line for this, I was like, okay, well, how can I really make my point make sense? And I was like, I'm just gonna write a bass line and leave a lot of space, like you know, just, you know. Etc., etc. So what I would suggest doing is just, you know, just putting on a metronome, you know, something with like some clicks or a drum beat, whatever you have to work with, whether it be a, you know, drum machine like this one right here, you know, put a little, just something real simple, putting a little beat together, and then just like, on the ones, just play the ones. You know what I mean? Just like play, just like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Just on the ones, that's it. And really feel that one. Like, let's say if I had this beat. Here we go, watch. Here it is. There's my bass line. I'm done. The bill is in the mail. That's it. And that's it, that simple. Keep it that simple, but really feel that one. You know what I mean? Really, really feel where that one is at, you know? And once you do that for a while, I mean, then you can maybe add in it like how I did, you know, like, like that. Keep it super, super simple. Try different tempos. You can do a quicker tempo or even a slower tempo, and just really feel that space. And, you know, one thing that might be kind of cool is to do like the ones for a while, you know, like the and then do the twos. 1. Now I'm doing them on the twos. Maybe on the threes. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then on the fours. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. And then go back to the ones. So there's your exercise right there. Just put on 4 beats, rock it for a while on the ones, bump, 2, 3, 4, bump, 2. Do that for a while, really feel it, 2, feel that space. And those 2, 3, 4s, again, just because you're not playing, that doesn't mean it's not part of the music. Just when you're not, because you're not, you know, the space is part of the groove. The space is part, and the more you can kind of alter that space, I think I've quoted this here on the show before, but one of my favorite quotes was by Questlove, and I think he was talking about the drummer from Heatwave, if I remember. And he was talking about the drummer from Heatwave, how he was so good at doing those 4 on the floors, and he said that he played the space hard. And I thought that was so cool. It's like really like, feel the umph of the space. Like, the space gets me feeling groovy as much as me when I'm playing my bass, and that's what you really want to do as a bass player, any musician really, but especially as a bass player. So just try to alter that space. So just 4 beats, 3 4, bump 2 3 4, bump 2. Next go around, 1 dun 3 4 1 dun 3 4 1 dun 3. Then that for a while, 1 2 dun 4 dun. Then 1 2 3 bum bum. And then really whatever beat you land on, feel it too. Don't just don't like you're playing. Remember that act? I think it was last week's Bass Talk with Freekbass, or maybe the weeks before. We were talking about having confidence in your playing, and that makes all the difference. Have confidence in that whatever that note is you're playing. Come down. Go hard on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that Ohio funk thing. That's what we do here in Ohio. Like I always say, we're here in Ohio. The reason our funk sounds the way it is, we're like that kid in the back of the class because we're not New York or LA. So we have to play a little harder, a little heavier. But if you are from New York and LA, it's the same thing. You got to play heavy, play heavy and play hard. So do that. Listen, feel the space. That's what this week's about. And I'm telling you, it'll make you, it literally, it almost like you're retraining your mind, and you'll start thinking about, bass lines differently. You'll really that space. You're like, oh yeah, it's like that is part of the bass line. It's the space. That's what it's all about. All that space. I'm so tempted, but I'm not going to. You know what I'm saying? It's really feeling it. And there you go. So that's it. So let me know any questions. Again, I apologize I don't answer them during the course of the thing. It's just my brain's like during all of this, so I can keep thoughts going. So any comments, please leave them. I'll answer every single comment, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. And please make sure you also, I say it every week, and it's turning into such a little special place. I can't emphasize it enough. Join me Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time over at twitch.tv/Freekbass. Live Grooves with Freekbass. We're making up grooves live with you at the chat. And then I'm there Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time too at twitch.tv/Freekbass. But of course, I'm always here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time for Bass Talk with Freekbass. Everybody